What I observe and unfolding in China's digital currency development represents nothing less than the systematic construction of a financial weapon designed to assassinate the US dollar's global reserve currency status while establishing comprehensive Chinese control over international payment systems. China's digital yuan operates as more than monetary innovation. It functions as a strategic instrument for economic warfare that could systematically eliminate American financial dominance while enabling authoritarian control over global commerce and democratic governance. The intelligence is clear, crystal clear. China's central bank digital currency system operates under direct state control with comprehensive surveillance capabilities that enable real-time monitoring, transaction control, and economic manipulation of every digital yuan transaction globally, unlike traditional cryptocurrencies that operate through decentralized networks. China's digital currency provides centralized authoritarian control over all monetary transactions while creating systematic leverage over any nation or entity that adopts digital yuan for international commerce. What troubles me is most profoundly as Samasbom is the systematic coordination, between China's digital currency deployment and comprehensive strategy for displacing American economic leadership through technological and financial innovation. China's digital yuan integrates with Belt and Road infrastructure projects, trade agreements, and diplomatic initiatives to create systematic pressure on developing nations to abandon dollar-based transactions in favor of Chinese digital currency systems that provide Beijing with unprecedented economic leverage. I am analyzing intelligence assessments that detail China's systematic deployment of digital yuan infrastructure throughout partner nations, including central bank integration, payment system replacement, and merchant adoption programs that create comprehensive alternative to dollar-based international commerce. Chinese technology companies provide digital payment infrastructure that integrates seamlessly with digital yuan systems while creating dependencies on Chinese technology that enable systematic economic control. Congressional oversight of dollar defense in strategies reveals systematic inadequacy of American responses to China's digital currency challenge, while Federal Reserve digital currency development lags significantly behind Chinese capabilities. American financial institutions operate under traditional banking frameworks, while China deploys comprehensive digital infrastructure that provides systematic advantages in speed, cost, and accessibility for international transactions. This creates systematic competitive disadvantage for dollar-based commerce. The economic implications of digital yuan adoption extend beyond immediate transaction costs into systematic restructuring of global trade relationships that enable Chinese economic dominance while eliminating American leverage over international commerce. Nations that adopt digital yuan systems gain immediate benefits in transaction efficiency and costs while creating long-term dependencies on Chinese monetary systems that enable systematic economic coercion and political pressure. What makes China's digital currency strategy particularly effective is the systematic integration with existing Chinese economic initiatives, including infrastructure, investment, trade agreements, and technology transfer programs that create comprehensive economic ecosystems dependent on Chinese systems. Chinese digital currency operates within broader economic frameworks that provide multiple incentives for adoption while creating systematic barriers for maintaining dollar-based alternatives. Regional financial system implications include systematic displacement of dollar-based banking and payment systems throughout Asia, Africa, and Latin America, where Chinese economic influence provides optimal condition for digital yuan adoption. Chinese development, financing, trade, relationships, and infrastructure projects create systematic pressure for partner nations to adopt Chinese financial systems, including digital currency that reduces reliance on American banking and monetary systems. The technological sovereignty implications of Chinese digital currency dominance include comprehensive control over global payment infrastructure that enables systematic surveillance, transaction control, and economic manipulation capabilities that extend far beyond traditional monetary policy. Chinese digital currency systems operate with built-in surveillance and control mechanisms that enable real-time monitoring of all economic activity while providing capabilities for systematic transaction blocking, asset freezing, and economic coercion. Intelligence community assessments regarding Chinese digital currency operations indicate systematic coordination between monetary policy, intelligence gathering, and economic warfare objectives that enable comprehensive information collection about global economic activities. Chinese digital currency systems provide unprecedented intelligence capabilities about international trade patterns, financial relationships, and economic vulnerabilities that enable systematic economic targeting and manipulation of foreign economies. The dollar's reserve currency status faces systematic erosion through coordinated Chinese initiatives that provide practical alternatives to dollar-based transactions while creating incentives for nations to diversify away from dollar holdings. Chinese digital currency offers immediate practical advantages in transaction speed, costs, and accessibility while providing long-term strategic benefits through a Chinese economic integration that reduces dependence on American financial systems. Sanctions, evasion capabilities that Chinese digital currency provides enable systematic circumvention of American economic pressure while creating alternative financial networks that operate beyond American regulatory control. Nations facing American sanctions can utilize Chinese digital currency systems to maintain international commerce while avoiding dollar-based transactions that enable American economic enforcement. This systematically undermines American economic leverage while strengthening Chinese influence. Counter-currency and strategies that American financial institutions and government agencies possess remain limited by traditional banking frameworks and regulatory constraints, while Chinese digital currency operates with comprehensive state support and systematic integration with Chinese economic initiatives. American responses require coordination between Federal Reserve, Treasury, Department and private financial institutions that face regulatory constraints and competitive limitations that Chinese state-directed systems do not encounter. The precedent implication of successful Chinese digital currency displacement of dollar dominance extend beyond immediate economic consequences into systematic demonstration that authoritarian economic systems can achieve global dominance through technological innovation and state coordination, while democratic financial systems prove inadequate for maintaining competitive advantages. Successful Chinese digital currency adoption demonstrates systematic advantages of authoritarian economic coordination over democratic market systems. International monetary and system transformation through Chinese digital currency dominance would fundamentally alter global economic relationships while enabling systematic Chinese control over international commerce and democratic governance. Chinese control over global payment systems would provide comprehensive leverage over democratic nations through economic pressure, transaction control, and systematic surveillance of democratic economic activities. Financial warfare implications include systematic Chinese capabilities for economic attack against American interests through digital currency manipulation, transaction blocking, and coordinated economic pressure that operates beyond traditional sanctions and economic warfare frameworks. Chinese digital currency control enables real-time economic warfare capabilities that exceed any previous financial weapon while operating through seemingly legitimate monetary and technological systems. Recovery scenarios from Chinese digital currency dominance require comprehensive reconstruction of American financial technology, international economic relationships, and monetary policy frameworks that exceed current institutional capabilities, while requiring systematic coordination between government agencies, financial institutions, and technology companies that current regulatory frameworks cannot adequately facilitate. Democratic financial sovereignty recovery requires fundamental transformation of American economic and technological systems. As I conclude this analysis, I recognize that China's digital currency weapon represents more than monetary innovation or economic competition. It represents systematic strategy for achieving global economic dominance while eliminating American financial leverage and democratic economic independence. The decisions made about digital currency development, dollar defense strategies, and international financial system coordination will determine whether American economic leadership survives Chinese technological and financial innovation, or whether authoritarian digital currency systems achieve systematic control over global commerce while enabling comprehensive surveillance and economic coercion that fundamentally alters international economic relationships in favor of authoritarian control over democratic governance.